Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a roughly 32 months update on the three Storj nodes that I have had running for the longest. It's been a while since I did this video, but I think it's time. It's been just about 1,000 something days or 32 month-ish, depending on the node that we look at. And I figured it was time to look at some earnings. Okay, so if we look at this node right here, we can see that today is the 12th of December and we've had about 1 terabyte of bandwidth used. We can see that it is a 18 terabyte hard drive. It's actually a 20 terabyte hard drive, but after everything, we get about 17.8. We have used just about 6.47 terabytes and we still have a lot of free space. Now, trash is looking good, uptime is looking good. Let's take a look at the payout history here. That is the interesting stuff. So let's do custom time range and do all time. So for the first node here, you can see that I've made a total of $151. This is before you counter in power cost and taxes if you sell your Storj coin. So do keep that in mind throughout this video. We can see that we have had some held back returned, about $5. So we are well within the profit here. This is actually looking quite good, and if we manage to over time fill up the disk even more, we will be looking at a larger payout every single month. So we can see that about this here in November, we got about $10 for this specific node. I think that's pretty good for one hard drive, just sitting there spinning, not doing anything that I need to worry about. I don't have to do maintenance. I just have to make sure every now and then that it's online. I have notifications set up so that if it goes offline, I'll get a notification on my phone. So that's node number one. Let's go to the node number two here. So as you can see, we have used about 566 gigabytes of bandwidth this month. That is because that this node is almost full. Now, one thing I might consider doing in the future would be to increase the total disk size of this node, because when you run out of space, the node will not grow anymore, so earnings will keep the same. And preferably, I would like the node to keep growing in size. The reason for this is that, well, I like to earn more, but also because this hard disk has actually paid for itself now, which means that I could either put it into a new node or I could retire the hard disk and sell it secondhand, and then I could buy a new hard drive that would earn me more and basically cost the same in power. So I am considering that, but I haven't made up my mind yet. Uptime is okay, and let's just look at the payout information. So let's do all time. All right. So for this node, keep in mind this node has been full, so you do see less earnings because it's not able to grow anymore. We have done a total of $142.39. We have gotten roughly $10 back in held return, and we are profiting every single month off of this. So if we look at November, we got about $8.21 for November, which is definitely more than the power cost of the hard drive. So it is profitable after all these months, which is great. It's very fun. Let's look at the last node. This is the one that is actually most interesting. So I would pay attention here. Now, this node has been a big one for a long time. So when I started out, I had this 10 terabyte disk early on, which means that it now is now sitting at 8.18 terabyte of used space and is still growing ever so slightly every month. It's going extremely slow, but it's happening. The reason it's going slow is because the network is not that utilized, and we also have a lot of nodes online, and stuff also gets deleted, as you can see here in the trash. But because this has been a big disk that has gotten a lot of data over time, I think this is the disk that has actually been running for the longest. I believe this is almost at 35 months. We can see here in a bit. This is also the one that has been making the most money. So let's give a look at the payout history. Now, look at that number. That looks great. $263 in about, I think it's 35 months. We can have a look down here. I think Okay, sorry, 31 months. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We're also looking at about $13 this month. We have gotten about 12.59 in returns, and basically this is just making pure profit every single month. I haven't needed to touch this setup for quite some time, so it's kind of passive doing itself. I just need to make sure that the discs are still healthy and not showing signs of age, and that they are running and spinning as they should. So this is looking really good, and I can imagine having 10 discs that have this much data in time. That would be really cool and amazing, because it's definitely a big earning for doing not so much work. If we look at all the power costs and everything, I made a little picture here. We can see that for 3 nodes in 32-ish months, I have made $556. Now, this calculation is based upon every disk using about 8 watts, and I'm not counting the hardware it is running on. I'm only counting the disks. You need to keep that in mind. And I have a kilowatt hour price of about 42 cents. I live in Denmark and it's very expensive. But even though after earnings after power cost, I am sitting at $324. So that is enough to, for example, buy me a new hard drive. So I would definitely say that it's a fun project and it can be worth it if you are in it for the long run and you don't mind waiting. I'm hoping to do another video when I hit 3 years on these nodes. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Peace out, HG.